A Tale of Two Snow Whites. As you know, we've got two Snow White movies coming out. Snow White and the Evil Queen, and Snow White. I think it's just Snow White. Let's check this out.
One of the simplest rules of business is that if you don't give your customers what they want, then sooner or later someone else will. And that, my friend, is when you go out of business. Such is the case with Snow White and the 7 diverse, non-specific, vertically challenged creatures. A movie that somehow managed to combine all the worst aspects of modern movie making with an actress who embodies all the worst aspects of modern actors.
Weird. It's no longer 1937. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby.
And believe me, that's saying something.
Nobody had ever put a woman in the lead of an action movie.
What?
In short, it was giving fans of the classic fairy tale, or even the 1937 animated movie, the exact opposite of what they wanted. And the result has been an audience backlash on a scale never before seen. Even The Little Mermaid never came close to the thermonuclear level of hatred that engulfed Snow White.
That's true.
But, like I say, for every failing company that's too stupid or too arrogant to give their customers what they actually want, there's another up-and-coming hopeful waiting to swoop in and take the crown. And in this case, it's the Daily Wire, a conservative media outlet that started dabbling in film and TV production over the past couple of years. And while they haven't exactly rocked the world of entertainment to its core, movies like Run, Hide, Fight and Shuts In proved that they can make relatively decent films on a fraction of the cost of Hollywood's. And the other day, they dropped their first teaser trailer for Snow White and the Evil Queen, something that I honestly thought was a take at first, but nope, it's a legit movie that's actually getting made and released next year under their kids production company Bentkey, starring Brett Cooper as Snow White, which confused the hell out of me because I always assumed that Brett Cooper was a man. And damn man, right off the bat you can tell they're happily taking pot shots at Disney with this one. The reveal of Cooper as Snow White is left until the final seconds of the teaser, and it's played with such a triumphant flourish that it might as well be accompanied by the caption, "See, this is how it's supposed to be done." I mean, clearly the whole thing was slapped together pretty quickly to take advantage of the momentum around Snow White, probably on a small budget, so it looks more like a skit from SNL than a major Hollywood movie. Then again, based on the pictures we've seen from the set, the Disney version doesn't exactly justify its $200 million price tag either, so who the hell knows? You can tell that they've gone out of their way not to put a modern spin on the classic story, not to subvert the audience's expectations, and not to use the movie as an excuse to insert 21st century Californian ideology into a story written hundreds of years ago. And whether or not you agree with that idea, one thing you can't deny is that there's definitely a market for films like this, a growing market that's become increasingly alienated from modern entertainment and want nothing more complicated than to forget their troubles and lose themselves in a bit of escapism for an hour or two. Not much to ask, really, but it's something that Hollywood's been increasingly reluctant to give. You know, it's actually a pretty damning indictment of where we are as a culture that a movie that dares to just tell a conventionally heroic story that's faithful to the source material is now considered some crazy revolutionary outlier, but there you go. Truly, we live in clown worlds. The same principle of being humble and respectful to the source material even filters through to the main actress when she was speaking about her role. Quote, "I was raised on the original Grimm's fairy tales, so I'm thrilled that we're bringing this iconic story to life for the next generation. Snow White is such a beautiful character, and I'm honoured to be playing her. Like all the best fairy tales, this is a story with timeless values like love, friendship and kindness, and I can't wait to share them." Now, do me a favour and compare this for a moment to Rachel Zegler's interpretation of the character and her attitude to the original animated movie.
The cartoon was made 85 years ago, and therefore it's extremely dated. We have a different approach to what I'm sure a lot of people will assume is a love story just because, like, we cast a guy in the movie. She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love.
She's not going to be saved by the prince.
Story with a guy who literally stalks her. Women being in roles of power.
The difference there, isn't there? Tell me, which actress do you find yourself rooting for more? Now ultimately, I've got no idea at this stage whether Snow White and the Evil Queen will be any good or not. It could just as easily turn out to be a steaming pile of dog shit, no matter the good intentions behind it. The difference though is that unlike the Disney version, I actually want this one to succeed, partly because I think it's being made with exactly the kind of attitude that's sorely lacking in Hollywood today, and partly because the anarchist in me wants to see the absolute meltdown that'll engulf the mainstream media if this film somehow outperforms Disney's excretion. I mean, let's be honest, it totally isn't going to, but it's funny to think about all the same. It really feels like a classic case of a scrappy underdog taking on a bigger, overconfident opponent. Either way, the simple existence of this movie and the attention it's getting proves the point that I made at the start, that if you go long enough without giving your customer what they want, then eventually someone else is going to step in and do it for you. They might not succeed immediately, but the simple fact that they tried it will inevitably encourage others to do the same. And well, sooner or later you might just find that those customers you took for granted have taken their business elsewhere. And at the end of the day, you've got no one to blame but yourself.
Yep.
It's Hollywood, baby.
Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.
Here's the thing. I'm like, the Daily Wire will not have the budget that Disney will. So the problem is it could come out looking like, a lower budget movie, something independent, which it is. It's independent, and it may not grab the people, but you never know. Like I said, you compare The Creator, $80 million movie, and then you've got these $300 million movies, and it's like, wait, what? You did that on 80? Why does this movie look like that on 300 million, and The Creator kills that? How? Why? What's going on? Where are you flushing your money down the toilet to that your $300 million movie looks like that? So, it is a possibility that with the right directors, editors, and everything, that they could definitely, special effects, everything, they could come out with a winner. And I'm rooting for them too. I'm rooting for the Daily Wire to come out with a good one, because so many of us are just so sick and tired of them twisting and just totally destroying fundamentally all the IPs we've grown up with and loved, and just, it's not even the IP anymore. It's not. It's something else. It's something else. And just because you might own it, that's the reason why you're changing it. But it's not what people grew to love. It's just something that's just, garbage at the end of the day. Make sure you subscribe to Drinker. Tell them Tyrone Magnus sent you. If you enjoyed my thoughts and take on this and my reaction, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and share. 10 million subscribers.